Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the 2025 GMC Acadia AT4. As with all of my reviews, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs and take this thing on a thorough drive. Of course, there's a whole bunch of stuff to cover, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up and let her run. The Acadia, like its platform siblings, has always been a great alternative for those looking for a roomy, three-row SUV but didn't have a need for something like a Tahoe or Yukon. The Acadia was redesigned from the ground up last year to offer a bolder, more premium design, a new off-road trim, as well as key safety features with families in mind, combined with greater horsepower and torque from an all-new engine. It's larger in all dimensions compared to the previous generation. It sits 10.6 inches longer and 3.2 inches taller, enabling enhanced passenger spaciousness and an expanded seating configuration of 7 or 8 passengers depending on the trim. The Acadia's larger size also means more storage space and versatility, including nearly 80% more cargo space behind the third row and more than 36% more behind the second row compared to the previous generation. The 2025 lineup includes the Elevation, AT4, and Denali, which starts at $46,295, $52,595, and $57,295 respectively. All-wheel drive is a $2,000 upcharge on the Elevation and Denali, which comes standard with front-wheel drive. All-wheel drive is standard on the AT4. All Acadia trims are now fitted as standard with a powerful 2.5-liter turbo engine that produces 328 horsepower and 326 pound-feet of torque, as well as an 8-speed automatic transmission. With a standard trailering package, the Acadia is able to tow up to 5,000 pounds. The package includes a Class 3 trailer hitch, a heavy-duty cooling system, hitch guidance and hitch view camera systems, a 220-amp alternator, and a tow-haul mode for the transmission. With the new AT4, off-road capability reaches a new peak for the nameplate. Advanced off-road driving technologies and features are matched with distinctive design cues and exclusive interior appointments, enabling customers to go further with confidence and comfort. A 1-inch taller ride height and wider track, coupled with all-terrain tires and an off-road tuned suspension with hydraulic rebound control, enhance stability, handling, and capability. An exclusive active torque control all-wheel drive system with twin-clutch rear differentials yield optimal traction and control in demanding scenarios. The Acadia's selectable drive modes are expanded for the AT4 to include a terrain mode, and you also get hill descent control. The front fascia is accented with signature AT4 red tow hooks and integrated skid plates. The interior sees a number of unique touches as well. The new Acadia becomes the 5th nameplate within the GMC portfolio to offer Super Cruise, the industry's first true hands-free advanced driver assistance system available across a network of about 750,000 miles of road in the US and Canada. It also marks the first time that Super Cruise will be available on GMC trims such as Elevation Premium and AT4, in addition to Denali. As a plus, the Acadia benefits from the latest Super Cruise technology, which includes trailering assist and automatic lane change capabilities. The Super Cruise package retails for $3,490 and includes 3 years of digital services by OnStar, driver attention assist, automatic enhanced park assist, and a rear camera mirror. All Acadias are offered with a choice of 6 colors, with each trim having a signature option. On the AT4, the signature color is deep bronze metallic. This example, though, is finished in ebony twilight metallic. Summit white is the only color that comes at no additional cost. The total MSRP for what you see here, including destination, Super Cruise, a panoramic sunroof, optional paint, and the luxury package, is $59,230. The Elevation comes standard with 18-inch bright silver painted alloy wheels. 20 and 22-inch wheel options are also available. 18-inch dark machined alloy wheels are standard on the AT4, which offer a more rugged and sporty appearance. The wider track is accompanied by 10mm wider 265/65 all-terrain tires. The tires make a big difference in the AT4's overall appearance, which is notably more aggressive than the other trims, especially with the flared wheel arches and LED marker lights. The Denali comes standard with 20-inch pearl nickel alloy wheels, but you also have a choice of optional 22-inch wheels. The Acadia is fitted with 4-wheel internally ventilated disc brakes. The front discs measure 12.6 by 1.2 inches, and the rear discs measure 12.4 by 0.9 inches. The discs are clamped down by twin piston and single piston calipers respectively. The park and brake is electronically controlled. The button to manually toggle it on or off is on the left side of the dash. An auto hold feature is also standard. When turned on, the brakes automatically apply for you after you come to a full stop. It allows you to not have to rest your foot on the pedal the entire time. It automatically disengages once you resume acceleration. The brakes work well as expected, but they can be touchy at times if you have a heavy foot. They have a strong initial bite and otherwise provide smooth, confident stopping power. The Acadia's suspension is fully independent, consisting of McPherson strut setup in front, a 5-link setup in the rear, and a 1-inch increase in ride height. The AT4 further benefits from standard continuous damping control that features enhanced dampers and rebound control for a refined ride. The technology noticeably increases driving safety, comfort, and dynamics by adjusting the damping forces optimally for each wheel. The road manners are very smooth and the ride is well controlled. The AT4's dampers, which is referred to as the performance suspension, are optionally available on the Elevation and Denali. The steering is an electric, power-assisted rack and pinion setup that offers speed variable assistance to make low-speed maneuvers smoother and easier, and high-speed maneuvers quicker and with greater precision. The turning circle with the 18-inch wheels measures 39 feet. The steering wheel is on the numb side, but that's expected for this segment. While I do wish it offered a more connected feel, it's weighty enough for smooth, controlled driver inputs. When Sport Mode is selected, the steering wheel does firm up a bit more. The steering wheel itself is a great design, wrapped in leather and decorated with cross-stitching and satin chrome trim. Buttons on the upper spokes allow quick access to driver assistance features, cruise control, hands-free telephone and voice commands, instrument cluster layout, and the wheel's heated function. On the back of the upper spokes, beneath the paddle shifters, you'll find buttons that operate functions of the audio system. The steering wheel is manually adjustable for tilt and reach. The blacked out part at the top of the steering wheel is part of the Super Cruise system. The standard digital instrument cluster offers several different layouts that you can easily switch between using a button on the right steering wheel spoke, including a full-width navigation and a driver assistance display. A head-up display is optional on the AT4 with the luxury package. It's easy to see and follow. You can adjust the height, brightness, and rotation via the controls and safety menu of the infotainment system. Another notable feature with the luxury package is an acoustic laminated windshield, which helps to quieten the interior more. Another big change for the Acadia, like the Chevrolet Traverse and the new Buick Enclave, is the introduction of an all-new engine. Previously, these SUVs were powered by a 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine that produced 310 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. With all-wheel drive, the last Acadia was rated between 17 miles per gallon in the city and 25 miles per gallon on the highway. Front-wheel drive models ranged between 18 city and 26 highway. While all of that sounds pretty acceptable, with the growing concerns for efficiency and big efforts being made across the board to maximize it, GM has ditched the V6 in favor of a turbocharged 2.5-liter four-cylinder. Power gains with this engine are significant, as it develops 328 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 326 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 RPM. With the extra power on tap, the new Acadia is able to accelerate to 60 miles an hour in about 6.5 seconds, which is more or less at the same pace as its predecessor, despite it being larger and packed fuller with features and tech. As far as fuel economy with all-wheel drive, EPA estimates for the new engine range between 19 miles per gallon in the city and 24 miles per gallon on the highway. During my week of driving, I averaged around 21 miles per gallon. Front-wheel drive models range between 20 city and 27 highway. While that's not a huge improvement, it's still an improvement, especially around town. Again, the new Acadia is a lot bigger, so keep that in mind. The total tank capacity is 19.4 gallons. Despite being turbocharged, this engine also uses regular unleaded gasoline, which definitely helps save some at the pump compared to having to use premium or mid-grade fuel. The engine is built using aluminum for the block and head. The valve train consists of dual overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, and continuous variable valve timing. Fuel is delivered via high-pressure direct injection. The biggest gripe I have with the new engine is how it sounds. Yes, it has great power and acceleration and is a big improvement over the V6 in that regard, but especially when pushed hard, the engine note becomes unpleasant in an otherwise quiet vehicle. Some additional sound deadening or even an electronic sound enhancement feature would be welcomed. The transmission paired to this new engine is a new 8-speed automatic that replaces the previously used 9-speed automatic that was paired to the V6. The transmission is smooth and responsive as you would expect and responds quickly to downshift requests. For times where you're feeling a bit sporty, GMC did include paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel that allow you to shift gears manually. The transmission selector has been moved from the center console to the right side of the steering column, a quasi-column shifter if you will. The shift-by-wire setup works by pulling it towards you and pulling it down to select drive. Pull it towards you and hold for a second to select neutral. Pull it towards you and up to select reverse. Park is selected by a button on the end of the stalk. It's a simple setup that frees up space in the center console for additional storage. 3 drive modes are included as well. The switch to toggle between the modes can be found on the left side of the dash. The standard modes on the AT4 include normal, sport, off-road, terrain, and tow haul. In sport mode, steering response is tightened, suspension calibration is more responsive, and the dampers firm up to provide sportier road manners. Off-road is more for recreational use in all-terrain conditions, improving handling on grass, dirt, gravel, and unpaved or snowy roads. Terrain mode takes advantage of the AT4's unique twin-clutch all-wheel drive system to ensure torque is getting to where it's needed the most, in mud, sand, or rocky trails. Tow haul mode helps keep the vehicle in a lower gear for more torque, improving the drive when pulling a trailer or heavy load. The Acadia's new interior is designed to complement the exterior with a more rugged SUV-like design that's also comfortable, generously equipped, and more practical than ever before. The long and flowing cross-car lines with layered elements emphasize width and overall spaciousness. The focal point of the Acadia's interior is a portrait-oriented 15-inch diagonal premium infotainment system, which is standard across all trims. The AT4's unique interior is called Forest Storm and features a combination of cloth and Cortec upholstery with mahogany stitching, additional chrome metallic trim, a black headliner, and darkened finishes on lower moldings and panels. The overall feel of the interior is a mix between luxury and durability. The Denali comes standard with more comfort and convenience features, higher grade materials, and exclusive options. The Elevation is the most basic out of the lineup, but it's still very well equipped overall. The front seats are comfortable and supportive. On the AT4, you have an 8-way power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar, a 6-way power passenger seat with 2-way power lumbar, heated front seats, and a heated steering wheel. Ventilated front seats are added with the AT4 Luxury package. Storage space and packaging is also very well done. The center console is a floating design, so it has storage space underneath it, along with a 12-volt power outlet. Atop the console, there's a wireless phone charging pad, a pocket with USB A and C ports, and 2 cup holders. There's a large cubby with a removable tray under the padded armrest. The glove box offers great space, and there's large lower door pockets with bottle holders. In the overhead console, you also have sunglass storage. Customizable ambient lighting, standard on the AT4, gives you the ability to select from a wide range of color options to enhance the driving experience, especially at night. The AT4 is also available with a panoramic sunroof with a power sunshade for an added sense of open spaciousness. All Acadias come standard with a 12-speaker Bose premium audio system, while the Denali is optionally available with a 16-speaker Bose Performance Series audio system with Centerpoint surround sound. An additional benefit of both audio systems is standard active noise cancellation, which provides frequencies to counteract unpleasant road and driveline noise to further isolate the interior and make things more pleasant. A tri-zone climate control system is also standard on all trims. For the front occupants, you have a bank of controls in the bottom of the center stack for easy and quick adjustments of things like temperature and fan speed. More in-depth climate controls can be found within the infotainment system. There's shortcut buttons across the bottom, as well as a dedicated climate menu where you can activate the heated and ventilated front seats, change climate zones, adjust rear seat climate settings, and more. The new infotainment system operates very similar to other GM systems I've used recently. It has an excellent user interface with high-resolution graphics, capacitive touch, and practically no lag. It's also straightforward and easy to navigate and find stuff, especially with the customizable displays. It features Google built-in and includes things like Google Maps, Google Assistant, and Google Play. Google Assistant serves as your natural voice recognition and assistance system that allows you to operate many in-vehicle features hands-free. With Google Play, you have a vast library of apps that can be downloaded to the system and used just like you would on your smartphone. Speaking of, unlike some of GM's newest EV offerings, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard. Additional standard media options include your basic AM/FM radio, Sirius XM satellite radio, Bluetooth streaming, Google News, Spotify, Amazon Alexa, and USB connection. A Wi-Fi hotspot is also included. The infotainment display can be divided up to show a combination of audio, navigation, and trip information. Standard ambient lighting can be used to bathe the interior in your favorite accent color at night. There's a myriad of color options, shades, and tones for the ultimate personalization. One interesting feature of these newer GM systems is the controls and safety menu, which has a focus on simplifying and cleaning up the interior. Within the menu, you can operate all of the vehicle's lighting, from headlamps and taillamps to interior lights. Notice that there are no conventional lighting controls on the left steering column stalk. In addition to the lighting controls, there's also a plethora of settings for the doors and windows, universal remotes, automatic parking, and certain driving features. While I was a little frustrated with this setup when I first used it in the new GMC Canyon, I've come to appreciate it more for its simplicity and having so many vehicle systems grouped into one condensed menu that's easy to use. When it comes to safety, the Acadia is loaded down with so much active and passive features that it's impossible to cover it all in this video. Accessible through the infotainment display, you can have up to 9 camera views depending on the trim level. Some of the standard driver assistance features include blind zone steering assist, intersection automatic emergency braking, traffic sign recognition, and lane keep assist with lane departure warning. With the available enhanced automatic park assist, the Acadia can automatically steer, brake, and shift gears to park into a dedicated parallel or perpendicular parking space. It can also help you unpark the vehicle. Teen Driver helps encourage safe driving habits for teens by providing an in-vehicle report card. It activates certain safety systems if equipped, and it mutes the radio until the front seat occupants fasten their seatbelts. Buckle to Drive is another system to remind the driver to buckle their seatbelt by temporarily preventing the vehicle from being shifted out of park. Additional safety tech includes a forward collision alert, following distance indicator, front pedestrian and bicyclist braking, rear cross traffic braking, rear pedestrian alert, rear seat reminder, side bicyclist alert, StabiliTrak, electronic stability control with traction control, tire pressure monitoring, enhanced automatic emergency braking, driver attention assist, safety alert seat, and much more. In addition to the dual frontal airbags for the driver and front passenger, you have seat-mounted side impact front and second row outboard airbags and roof rail mounted head curtain airbags for all outboard seating positions. Like I said, this is a lot to digest. A full list of all included and available safety features can be found on GMC's website. 7-passenger seating is standard on the AT4 in Denali and offered as an option on the Elevation. In other words, a second row bench seat is standard on the Elevation. Especially with having the third row seat, I'm not especially fond of bench seats as they not only make it more difficult for third row entry, but there's just something about captain's chairs that create a more premium experience for second row passengers. It also makes the environment feel far more roomy by having all of that extra space in between the seats. That being said, the second row seats are fully adjustable. You can slide them back and forth, recline, and even adjust the headrests. Each seat has a fold-down armrest too. As I mentioned earlier, the panoramic sunroof is a standalone option. It bathes the interior in natural light and looks fantastic. The unique upholstery of the AT4 extends back along with the accent stitching and piping. The AT4's second row seats are heated with the luxury package so everyone can stay warm on a cold day. The second row is super roomy. Even folks over 6 feet tall shouldn't have an issue with ingress, egress, or getting comfortable. Speaking of, the seats themselves are soft and supportive just like the front. Each seat has latch anchors for securing child seats. Overhead in the roof, there's adjustable air vents on either side, LED reading lamps, and microphones for the hands-free telephone system. The B-pillars have grab handles to assist with entry. The rear of the center console has 2 cup holders for the second row. Beneath are your simple climate controls for fan speed, temperature, mode, and automatic. The heated seat controls are there as well. Further down, there's 2 USB-C outlets and a 110-volt AC outlet. Additional second row storage includes lower door pockets and seat back pockets. With the second row seat's easy release mechanism, the seats easily can be tipped and slid forward for easy third row entry, even when a car seat's attached. Threshold plates give you a sure-footed stance when climbing in. While I wouldn't describe the third row as cavernous, being 5 foot 10 inches, I had plenty of room to sit back there just fine, as long as the second row seat can be adjusted so I had a little bit of wiggle room. Headroom is just fine. While you can sit 3 people in the third row, the middle portion is quite narrow. Overhead, there's additional LED lighting and adjustable air vents. Across the side panels, you have cup holders, storage pockets, molded-in armrests, and USB-C charge outlets. The large rear side windows offer good visibility. The headrests can be adjusted if needed, but they can also be folded for better rearward visibility, something that is not an issue with the available rear camera mirror. Child seat anchors can also be found in each of the third row seating positions. Also nice is that the same unique AT4 upholstery patterns carry on into the third row as well. All Acadias come standard with an AutoSense power liftgate, which not only offers power open and close, but has a true hands-free and foot-free for that matter opening feature. Instead of having to wave your foot under the bumper, the new AutoSense gate opens simply by approach. At the rear of the vehicle, with your key fob in your pocket or hand, stand within a few feet of the bumper and a sensor will detect your presence, automatically opening the liftgate. This is very helpful if you have an armful of packages. Another nice feature of this gate is that you can program the opening height from within the infotainment system if you wanted to set it at a lower height for whatever reason. Expanding cargo space is very easy despite none of the functions being powered like what's available on the Buick Enclave. To fold down the 60-40 split third row, there's pull straps that'll release the backrest and automatically collapse the headrests. They fold flat with the cargo floor. Folding the second row seats is done via the same handles that you would use to recline the backrests. With the third row in place, you have 23 cubic feet of cargo space. Folded down, the space expands to 57.3 cubic feet. Under the cargo floor, at the rearmost portion of the trunk, there's a massive amount of space underneath to store all kinds of stuff. You can remove the cargo container underneath to reveal a temporary spare tire tucked away. A very efficient design to maximize storage. With all of the seats folded flat, the Acadia has a maximum of 97.5 cubic feet worth of cargo space. Additional cargo amenities include D-rings on either side for tying stuff down, LED lighting, and a 12-volt power outlet. Additional extras can be had, such as floor liners, cargo organizers, and a privacy cover. Well everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like down below because it really helps the videos a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing that too, and make sure you turn those notifications on. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.